How's it going, guys? And welcome to the showdown between the Dark Elves led by Malekith the Witch King and the Empire, who's going to be led by Balthazar Gelt, and it looks like he's also accompanied by 2 Light Wizards, 5 Handgunners, and 3 Hellblaster Volley Guns with a couple chevrons, so this should certainly be an interesting one. So let's jump right into this match and have some fun. So in the front line, I do have 2 groups of Blackheart Corsairs, which I do like against the Empire. Granted, it's a very new Empire. They did fix the Handgunner bug, so Handgunners have much better line of sight, and I know their artillery also got a bit of a buff, so I think that's certainly going to change up the traditional approach to fighting against the Empire. But regardless, Blackheart Corsairs have been good in the past. With 80 armor and pretty good combat stats, they're very good against Spearmen with shields, halberds. They do get crushed by greatswords, but against pretty much all of the other Imperial troops, they're a pretty good pick. And just in case he decided to go with greatswords, we do have 2 Hargoneth Executioners in the middle. On the outsides, we have a couple Dreadspears. And the Dreadspears are pretty good against the Empire as well because you use them on the outside of your formation. And if they're coming in with cav, they can intercept the cav. If you want to send them in first to absorb the gunfire of the Empire, they're also very good at that. So definitely can get some pretty good value out of these Dreadspears. In the secondary line, a couple groups of Dark Shards. We also have the Sisters of Slaughter. So I figured if you went very heavy with like state troops, these guys would do a pretty good job at cutting through them. But again, just kind of wanted to try them out. But man, I am just looking at this army over here is giving me anxiety. It's definitely going to be some Last Samurai action. We'd also have some Dreadspears. We got Malekith here. And Malekith, I just wanted to try him out again. Everyone's been using Crone Hellebron. And I personally think that her sword ability, well, it's pretty much broken. It just like melts everything that she fights. So just as a common courtesy on ladder, I'm not going to be using Crone Hellebron. Granted, you probably could bring her without the sword. So maybe I'll do that in a couple games. I think she's fine in that case. 2 Doomfire Warlocks, I have 1, and then I also have the Slaanesha's Harvesters, the Regiment of Renown. These guys are going to be good against Empire. They'll be able to fight against most low-tier cav units with their physical resist and the augmentation of their spells and Soul Blight and Word of Pain. Very good at harassing back line. They're very, very fast with 92 speed. I think these guys are going to be an MVP in the metagame. And that's pretty much it for my army. And for my opponent, I mean, he just has like a straight-up like Last Samurai army. He's got like I said, 5 Handgunners who are new and improved, Spearmen defending the flank, Spearmen defending the back, 2 Empire Knights, 3 Hellblaster Volley Guns, which have, I think, been buffed. I'll have to take a look at the patch notes again. Light Wizards with Nets and Power Stones, and then Balthazar Gelt with the Final Transmutation. So, guys, we are in for an absolute reckoning. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So, right now, I was advancing, and kind of my thoughts when I was playing this game, I was like, you know what, he's memeing me a little bit. This army isn't going to do that well. I don't remember Hellblasters ever being that good, but here comes the first volley. So, it's shooting in here. It does come in against the Blackheart Corsairs. And then this just is where it all starts going downhill. So you can see my Hargoneth Executioner just getting melted. And even though it clipped like the edge of the formation, it's going to start adding up now that there's 3 plus the nets. Like, I don't see my infantry line getting close. Like, maybe a couple of the units with shields, but you can see these guys are just getting pounded by the gunfire. He's focusing down my elite troops first, of course, which is a very, very good choice. So far, just kind of charging in there, just trying to weather the storm. This one group of Black Arcs got really beat up. So what I do is I pull back all my elite troops, and then I send in my Dreadspears so they'll take this gunfire first. I think I forgot to do it. No, I do it with everyone. So, but yeah, this is going to be rough. You can see I pull back the Sisters of Slaughter, but then the gunfire is coming in, just continuing to melt me with those 3 organ guns. So I probably should have just advanced with everything and eaten it. But, you know, you can see at least my Dreadspears are absorbing that Handgunner fire. And also the Dark Shards with the Silver Shields. That's kind of what I was really hoping for. My front line is just getting massacred. You can see this gunfire does not care about my shields. It is just withering fire. And on top of that, nets are going to be coming in. So you can just go down the entire formation. You could just see gunfire just hailing into all my troops. No one is safe. At least the Sisters of Battle. Do they have shields? Like, do they have some sort of shield mechanic? They're like holding up their little, armor there. But anyways, just getting torn apart. You can see my Dark Shards are already offline, just retreating off the battlefield. And I am going to be engaging soon. This is going to be a big fight, though. The Slaanesha's Harvesters and the Doomfire Warlocks are coming around the back. He does have Empire Knights, but their stats are so low that I figured I could win with the physical resist and also with some of the magic and poison and stuff. So I do commit to a bit of an engagement here. And you can see the Doomfire Warlocks are going to come in and get a full charge with these Imperial Knights. So at this point, you can see the Word of Pain is cast on those guys. And, you know, they are taking a bit of damage. I believe I also do drop a Soul Stealer with Malekith, who's nearby. Just trying my best to burn down these Knights to open up the back line. Because the front line is going horrible. Like, I'm just getting massacred in my mainline troops. The Dark Shards are offline. They're dead. Sisters of Slaughter, dead. Over here, Hargoneth are just offline. Thankfully, I have some Dreadspears chasing through who are screening for some of these Hargoneth Executioners. But like I said, he's just been dropping nets. You can see a very good net going down right here. And now these guys are just going to basically be, just in the shooting range. Just point blank Imperial guns. Oh, my goodness. That is just brutal. These guys are just getting cut to pieces. So I really like this play for my opponent. Super fun. But the Empire Knights in the back line are taking quite a bit of damage, but look at this. Bounce power heavily in my opponent's favor, but now that I was able to get past the Knights, you can see the Slaanesha's Harvesters are coming in, and they're going to reap some souls for chaos, that's for sure. And don't these ones, maybe the Slaanesha's Harvesters are the only ones that use the Slaanesh Cotton Candy Blast, as Italian Spartacus coined it. I'm not sure, but anyways, I'm just like, I need to shut down these guns. I need to just bounce back and forth, be as annoying as possible. So I jump on and I shut down both of these Hellblaster volley guns here. So I should be able to route those off, but the handgunners are going to reform ranks if I'm not careful here. Just cause a ton of problems. So at this point, I detach these Dread Spears, or not Dread Spears, the Blackheart Corsairs, and I'm like, chase them, just stop them. And I also do catch his Light Wizard right here with some HANDGUNNER Executioners, so they should be able to take him out. And the Sisters of Slaughter are coming in with their whips, but you can see I'm still just getting Organ Gun just right in the back here. Just absolute carnage, and yeah, things are looking a little bit dicey, but I am able to outmaneuver these guys. I do get a really good Soul Stealer right in the blob that does quite a bit of damage, and also heals up my Slaanesha's Harvesters. So right now, just trying to get around and shut down all of his guns. Thankfully, Malekith is able to get back here on his Velociraptor. You can see he's going to be feasting on these guys. And also my Blackheart Corsairs are coming up from routing. And, honestly, it doesn't take much to shut down the handgunners. So Malekith, oh man, he's just taking shots in the back, though. A very close battle. My opponent definitely has a pretty solid lead in the balance of power here, which is a little bit stressful. But I was able to get some of the Sisters back and just, like, honestly, just making everything count. And how many Sisters of Slaughter do we have? Oh, 21. Okay, so she's just kind of a lone wolf with her whip. Did she just headbutt that guy? He's like just glitching out trying to change the thing. But anyways, the Slaanesha's Harvesters, it was basically just like meat's back on the menu, boys. So the Harvesters coming down, all the handgunners are relatively unprotected now that the Empire Knights are offline. So we're just trying to chase down these Imperial forces, just do the best we can. And we are able to catch those guys. Sorry, I didn't not mean to fast forward there, but a very good net from my opponent is going to buy a little bit of time for his handgunners here. But really, like, I'm right on his tail with a bunch of very fast units. So my Corsairs here do break, but the Spears are pushing forward. Over here I also have some healthy Dread Spears. Balthazar Gelt lurking in the skies, just basically casting Final Transmutation whenever he can. But there's still a lot of Empire forces over here. Thankfully I'm able to get on that volley gun, keep it from firing, using these HANDGUNNER Executioners on the high ground to shut down this other volley gun, which looks like they're trying to get back to their crew here, but hopefully my 15 Executioners can shut them down. And just chasing off these handgunners, guys. That's pretty much the name of the game. He's still ahead in the balance of power, though. Let's see, there's 17 of these guys, but I think they are in guard mode, so look at them. They're still shooting just my Executioners right in the face, which is just brutal. That actually looks really cool there, but yeah, I don't know. I guess my Executioners won't be able to chase him down, but thankfully I do have the Doomfire Warlocks and the Slaanesha's Harvesters just on the hunt. So you can see I'm just in the back, basically just chasing these guys down every chance I get, just coming in and getting nice charges, just melting these handgunners here. But even still, he has like layers of gunfire. So every time I like chase something, I'm still getting hit with this like withering, just punishing fire. So if we look at the Doomfire Warlocks, 22 models left here, but 72 kills and 44 on the regular Doomfire Warlocks. So they've done a really good job at just like chasing down these Empire handgunners and just, kind of salvaging this game for me. If we look here, Malekith is going to be hunting down the caster. Obviously, in a very tight game like this, I need to just get rid of all his leadership, his nets, things that could potentially win him the game. And if I had to say there was one thing that was hampering my opponent's progress this game, aside from the Doomfire Warlock play and Malekith, I really think that, he used like 2 or 3 nets, and Balthazar Gelt didn't have Winds and Magic to use his abilities really. So I think maybe just going with like a regular Empire Lord just to like kind of snipe things and just provide utility on the battlefield might have been better. Like a Boris Todbringer type, or maybe even Volkmar the Grim. I'm not sure. Well, Volkmar wouldn't be good with this many handgunners, but I feel like Balthazar, I don't even remember if he cast any spells here, but anyways, you can see Malekith, like I had him attacking this guy. Just watch this. He just like rides in front of him and doesn't turn an attack. It was so weird. That definitely was I kept looking. I was like, why is that guy not dying? So at that point, I just decided to leave him alone. The Warlocks in the back, as well as the Slaanesha's Harvesters, are just hunting on the high ground, looking for whatever's left of the Imperial forces. But he still has a pretty decent little pocket of troops. He's got some spearmen, but the Blackheart Corsairs are like designed at killing these type of troops. The anti-infantry bonus, the armor is going to make them too durable against the the front kicks of these Empire troops, and we're going to see how it goes here. So just fast forwarding a little bit, you can see I do use the Lesser Doombolt of the Warlocks to shut down that Hellblaster volley gun. Just going back and forth, trying to shut down any of his last guns, because at this point, that's pretty much the only thing that could get him back in the game. But as we advance here, you can see the bounce power heavily shifting in my favor. And I'm not sure where my Velociraptor is. Yeah, Malekith's over there. He's just chased off that last life caster, and he's coming back in to help. But Balthazar Gelt finally gets a Final Transmutation right there, but I think it was too little too late, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Empire. As Balthazar does jump in to make a final last stand, but of course he can't stand up to like Dread Spears and Warlocks and things like that. So very well played to my opponent. That game really caught me off guard. Like I was in chat with the Gobbo King and a couple other people in Discord, and I was just like, what is happening here? Like I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, this is just absurd. Like it was absurd, but it almost worked. Like my front line just got pounded, and had my Slaanesha's Harvesters been like shut down earlier and something bad happened to them, like I would have just straight up lost that game. I would have just been gunned into oblivion. So that was just like look at this 0-0. These guys just got punished. It was an awesome build. I really liked seeing it for sure, but But yeah, I think my build was okay against like general Empire, but man, I'd have to rethink my strategy. If I'd probably just go with like a whole front line of like bleak swords and just like, because then the guns would have sucked, right? If I just had a horde of bleak swords. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about that. If I keep seeing more of these style of builds, I might have to recontour my anti-Empire build with Dark Elves. But very well played to my opponent Chris, and he gets a little bit of free advertising here. Feel free to I have no idea what that is, this website, but feel free to check it out if you're so inclined. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Dark Elf vs Empire game, and guys, we will see you all next time.